Hello, Blenders. It's Sean, and I'm here to introduce you to a bonus episode of ReelBlend, a interview that we have with director Carey Williams, who has a new film called Emergency out in theaters and heading to Amazon Prime. So we were able to interview Carey back at the South by Southwest Film Festival earlier this year. It played in the festival programming aspect of South by because it was a hit at Sundance prior to, which is where I was able to see it. And the minute I got a chance to check this movie out, I knew that Carey is someone that we wanted to get on ReelBlend because this is a complicated film in terms of the things that it discusses with regards to race relations and the main characters on a college campus who are two black guys who find a white girl, a teenage white girl passed out in their dorm room and how they handle it from that point moving forward. It's a really smart film, which has great commentary about putting you in what it recognizes is an awkward situation and kind of making you ask questions about what you might do if you were the main characters. I don't want to give away too much because there's so many great surprises waiting for you in this movie. And even when I have this interview with Carey Williams, you'll see that we kind of dance around some of the specifics because we really do want you to appreciate the movie for itself. You'll know if you're watching this on YouTube that we don't have a video element to this because it took place at the South by Southwest Film Festival, but it's a great listen. And so without further ado, I just want to dive right into the ReelBlend interview with Carey Williams on behalf of his new film, Emergency. So this is a filmmaker-driven podcast. I have two other hosts. They couldn't be here, but we like to talk about the nitty-gritty of filmmaking. But first and foremost, because we're here in Austin, just tell me about the importance of this festival on the journey of this film in particular.
Yes, the importance of South by Southwest on the journey of this festival. So we played our short version of Emergency at South by Southwest. I think it was 2018. And we won the grand jury prize for that, which was amazing. And, you know, it's funny because that's probably why we actually made a feature, because we won that. And I think there was some post-interview that I was doing, and someone said something about, like, is there a feature or something like that, or what are you doing next? And I was like, we're making a feature. Just blurted it out or something, if I remember correctly. And I hadn't talked to Katie about that at all.
Okay.
I just we're doing it. And so she's like, we are? And so, you know, cut to here we are. Like she was like, yeah, let's make a feature. Like people responded to the short in such a great way, you know, that we're like, let's expand this world. Like there's a relationship here that we can explore. Let's have a bigger canvas to explore some more themes, you know, with you know, this situation, this, you know, event. And so South by has been huge for this film, and I'm so thankful that they're welcoming us back with the feature, you know, and you know, giving us another opportunity to get it out into the world. So, and it's a really fun festival. It's fun as shit, you know. Like I mean, you know, it's such an energy here that is really enjoyable. It's been a little too cold right now. Like I'm not happy about that. Like
this is not Texas weather.
I mean, what the hell is going on in Texas right now? But I guess in the next day or so it'll get back to some Texas weather.
Sure, right when we leave.
Right when we leave. Yeah, but no, it's I love South by.
So RJ played Sean in the short, right?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought he came over from the short.
RJ, I worked with RJ on my last feature.
Oh, okay.
Like right before this one. Yeah,
gotcha.
So we've worked back to back, which has been a joy.
How come you wanted him to come on over and play Sean then? What did he bring?
Because he's amazing.
Yeah.
He is amazing. And so, you know, I just worked with him on this other film I made called #J. It literally has the same, and so it's like the universe is telling me, like, bro, you need to work with this guy. So we were looking to cast Sean, and I remember enjoying working with RJ, of course, and he's extremely talented. And we're like, thank you. We're like, let's hit up RJ and see what's up. And he, you know, read the script, loved it. Right. And then so he came on pretty early. And then we found our kunle with chemistry reads with who was gonna match up with RJ, because RJ is such a big personality, and like, you know, like it's like who's gonna keep that, you know, match up well with him. So we thankfully our casting director Kim Coleman brought Donald Watkins into the picture, and we were like, that's him.
He's a genius.
That's him.
Oh my God.
So yeah, but RJ was very early on, and you know, love him.
So I hate asking this question because it seems easy, of like where'd the material come from. But it does feel like with this project, there is a chicken or the egg type approach of, did you have the party idea first, or did you have this sort of social commentary, racial commentary idea first, and how did you marry them together, even at the earliest level when you were putting the short together?
Yeah, the commentary was definitely first.
Okay.
And so our writer, Katie Davila, she basically wrote this in response to personal experiences she had as a young Latina with, darker, she's a lighter skin, fairer skin, and darker skinned people in her family being treated differently. And just seeing that sort of throughout her life. And, she's very, very observant. And, she basically wrote this short as a response to that at the core. And then she also had, I believe, some roommates that had a similar, or some friends that had a similar sort of situation as what happened in this movie, or what happens in this movie. And she expanded, of course, in her creative way. But so yeah, the social commentary was first. And then when we made the feature, it was like, we've got so much more canvas to really dig into some themes of fear and anxiety and masculinity and, stuff like that. So differences of worldviews between black people, which is very important, I think, for me. So yeah, so we always wanted to make sure we had something to say, like, especially with making the feature. It's like, why do we need another emergency, beyond the short? The short did what it did, but what is the reason for making a longer version of it? And we definitely had reasons, and we put those in there. And so that was the first thing, social commentary.
Were there any college movie cliches that you either wanted to embrace or avoid?
College movie cliches that we wanted to embrace or avoid. I don't remember thinking of anything. I didn't watch any college movies before this as like any kind of reference.
Okay.
Of course, there's like, in my head it was a Superbad, a Book Smart, like I had those in my head, but I did not watch them. And yeah, I mean, I wonder if Katie and the writing of it thought about that kind of thing. But for me, there was nothing that I thought about.
Because I love the way you shoot the parties that they're going to go to.
Oh, yeah?
The visual elements of those parties.
Nice, thank you.
So creative.
Thank you. We had a lot of fun doing that.
I'm sure.
Like I have a music video background, and my director of photography and I've worked on a lot of music videos together. And when it came time to shoot that, we're like, all right, it's time to play. This is our like wheelhouse. Like we've done like probably 15 videos together, 16 videos together. And back when like we were shooting like on a film camera, we literally like pop the lens off and pop it back on as the camera's rolling to give this like really cool, like we would do weird shit like that.
No
like,
kidding.
Yeah, like flashing the film. Like we didn't do any of that here, but like we would just play around and do all kinds of cool stuff.
Oh, so, I love that stuff.
Yeah, so we had a lot of fun with the lighting, and I'm so glad we had opportunity to do that, because the rest of the film is like so like dark and sort of monochromatic with like it's all at night. Sure. But we had this pop of color, and you got to see the fun that these guys were gonna have this night.
Right,
this was the dream, right? This was how we're gonna do it, and then that shit just gets yanked from them.
Well, that's the rug pull. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the way the tone of the movie is so great, getting up to that point.
Yeah.
So that you feel the impact of the rug pull getting pulled up from the cast is so incredible. Watching it. It seems like a ton of night shoots.
Oh, man. Literally every script I look at from now on is like, how much night shooting is there? Because the percentage has to be really low.
Yeah. So I would talk about the challenges of it, of just staying, I mean, you're like a vampire. You're living a reverse life at that point.
Absolutely. Like, it's funny because our writer, she is nocturnal. Like, right now, she's not really awake. She's just like barely making it. But me, I'm like, I get up at 5 a.m. usually.
Okay.
So it's like, for me, like the night shoots, I was like, okay, I got to turn my shit around. But yeah. But it was actually, it's kind of interesting because like you kind of get to a delirium, like, and so you're just kind of, and the great thing was the cast got along so well. Like it was just like, we're kind of delirious, but we're having fun. And like Donald is like the biggest, like goofy dude, like, like playing jokes and stuff. And so that kept the energy like light too. So it was worked out.
Did you film in order?
No, we didn't. I wanted to try to shoot in order as much as possible, but I think our not shooting in order worked out for the guys because we shot the party stuff last.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
and so like it was like almost like a reward for the guys to be able. Also, they had time to get their muscles right. You know what I'm saying? Like because they're shirtless in the party scene, so they like had that runway. You know,
that was the prep.
But it was hard because we're in Atlanta eating like good Southern food.
Sure.
You know, so they were like, dang. But yeah, we didn't shoot in order. We shot the as much as we could, but we had a lot of like some scheduling stuff that affected things where we like had to shoot in a certain way.
What was the production? You guys didn't shoot during any like COVID shutdowns or anything like that, did you?
Dude, we were shooting during COVID.
You were shooting, okay.
And thankfully, we didn't have any shutdowns. That actually affected when we shot because we had the party scenes, and so we were like, okay, when is it good enough where we can actually shoot this, where we can get a number of people in a room where it looks like a party?
Okay.
So we were stalling. What are the numbers like? And then finally it got good enough. We went to Georgia, shot that stuff, and we were all good, man. We got a good number of people in there, and like it looks. But for a while, dude, I was like, like trying to get creative with like how can we make these parties look like more than is, because like I was worried like I don't want to lose my job. Like they're like, Carey, what creative ways do you have to make the parties look bigger? And I'm like literally would get off the calls and I'm like, oh shit, man. I'm like Googling all this stuff. I'm like, what about cardboard cutouts and smoke and strobe lights and we'll shoot through windows. We'll have these guys on pulleys, like looks like they're dancing, like anything. I was like, visual effects. We looked at like cloning, trying to clone people because, dude, everything. Because we they're like, how can we make these parties look like something? And we looked into cloning. That shit's expensive. That shit's pretty expensive.
Wait, I didn't even know it was an option.
Well, I mean, it didn't end up being an option for us.
Sure.
But I mean, they do. Like, I looked at some reels from some visual effects companies, and they do some really incredible stuff.
Okay.
And I don't know if it would have worked for us, like the way we shot those party scenes, but the good thing is it all worked out. We like shot in a time when like we could get, I feel like those parties look like they're pretty, pretty populated. So so
because especially one of the elements is that one of the college students loses her younger sister.
Yeah.
So it has to be a crowd. It almost has to be that environment, or you don't believe it.
Exactly. Yeah. So but we tested every day. Like 5 days a week, and we were fortunate to not have any shutdowns.
Do you have coming up a director that you can call on when your back is against the wall with a technical issue or something? Someone you can lean on, a mentor who you say, hey, I'm in the middle of this shot, I can't figure it out. Do you have anybody you can call like that to help out?
I have my peers, I definitely lean on my peers, and I've been actually working on building more of a community of peers that I communicate with about. We can share ideas and stuff like that. I think that's important to have, is like that community. But really, as far as that kind of thing, I lean on my collaborators on the movie, on this, like my DP, my production designer, like everybody. Everyone has great ideas.
Yeah.
They really do. And you just have to be able to listen, and you got to let go of your ego and go like, that idea might be better than mine.
Right.
So earlier on in my career, couldn't do that.
Oh, really?
Because we're directors, we try to like control everything, right? It's all about like, it's my vision and control, but that shit is bullshit. You gotta like, yes, you are still in control, and you gotta know which ideas to take and use and say thank you and listen. But yeah, so that's kind of my thing, is like listening to people around me and leaning on my collaborators for those ideas.
Gotcha. How important is it that you're getting a theatrical release?
Oh God, man, I'm so happy about that.
Tell me.
Yeah. It was one of the things that I was pushing for early on. I love going to movies. Like I'll watch stuff on streaming and everything, but I love the experience of going to theater, and especially a film like this. I feel like it needs to be in a theater. It needs to have, like, watching the movie yesterday here at South by, and feeling the crowd laughing and hearing the sobs when, shit goes left and everything is so important. And I feel like people need that communal experience. And I hope this is the kind of movie that people will walk out of and be like, dude, you know, talk to each other about some of this stuff, you know, because I hope this film does raise some questions. So theatrical release I'm so happy about that.
Yeah, to that end, is there a way that you could be interactive afterwards? Because I feel like you leading the conversation is important afterwards, you know? Has there been any talk about additional Q&As, or at a festival you get the opportunity to maybe do that,
Sure.
answer some questions from people, but has there been any conversation like that?
You know, not as of yet, but it's an interesting idea. You know, something I talk to people about, make it happen. But, you know, we did, I believe our writer did a thing at USC with the film. I think she did that. But yeah, no, it's definitely something to think about.
All right. Well, last time you gave an interview about this, you revealed what you were doing next, and it happened. You manifested it. So tell me, what are we doing next?
Oh my gosh. You know, I'm reading scripts now, and you know, I've had fortune to have a lot of meetings with a lot of people that I've wanted to meet with and talk about ideas, and I'm really thinking about what the next thing is. You know, I want it to be, you know, after doing these two movies back to back, I feel like they're both challenging films, you know, like, and I want this next one to be just as challenging, but I want to level up, you know. We always want to level up, so I'm being very careful about it, but I got some interesting stuff that I can't really reveal just yet,
Sure.
But hopefully soon.
That's amazing, man. I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you.
Very exciting voice, and this movie's fantastic. So
Thank you so much.
See it. Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is a real pleasure.
Yeah, it's definitely.
We want to thank Carey Williams for joining us here on ReelBlend, and make sure that you go see Emergency. It's playing in limited theaters right now, so check and see if it is near you. But if not, it's going to be on Amazon Prime starting on Friday. In addition, on Friday, we're going to have a conversation with Top Gun Maverick director Joe Kosinski, who we're really excited to have on the show, especially to break that film down. So you're going to make sure that you're back here on Friday to listen to the latest episode of ReelBlend. So to make sure that you hear all the new ReelBlend, hit subscribe and turn on your notifications on this YouTube page. You'll be the first ones to find out when a new video from the show drops, whether it be a full episode, a bonus like this one, or even information on how you can join our premium channel, because we have a premium service that offers you a newsletter from myself, an ad-free version of the show, and additional shows that drop every Monday, something you're going to want to learn more about. Head to the descriptions down below to get more information on that. And like I said, hit subscribe and turn on your notifications. We'll meet you back here the next time a new ReelBlend video drops.